Hey guys, welcome back. After we installed Expo, we need to configure our emulators, especially for Android. So let's start. Open your browsers. And first I have a suggestion for Windows users. Please let's try CMDir. CMDir is a portable console emulator for Windows, and you will be able to use the same Unix-like commands as I am using in my terminals. So let's try it out. Okay, let's continue. And first, when you want to emulate your device with iOS, you need Xcode. And this is very unfortunate because Xcode you can install only if you're on a Mac. So Windows users, you cannot emulate on iOS devices. I am sorry. So iOS users, if you don't have Xcode, just download it. And you can get your Xcode from App Store. So it's a very simple installations and there is no configuration required. Okay, now for Android we need Android Studio. So let's Google for Android Studio, and installation is very simple. So just download Android Studio here, either for Windows or a Mac, it depends on your system. So download it here, it can take some time and follow all the steps. After it's downloaded, we need to configure some additional steps. So let's see this Android Studio emulator here. Set up Android Studio tools. So install Android Studio and then go to Preferences, Appearance and Behavior, System Settings, Android SDK, and click on SDK Tools. So let's do it. Let's open Android Studio. Alright, it's opening. Alright, my Android Studio is open, and let's click here on Configure and here SDK Manager. Alright, it will open these windows and you can see your SDK platforms, and important for us is SDK tools, and you need to have Android SDK build tools installed here. You can install it also from here. Okay, so this is very important, and another important thing here is this path here especially for iOS users, because we need this path. Let's go back to our browsers. And let's see this. Let's scroll down here, and here are the steps you need to set up Android SDK build tools. Let's scroll down here, and this path here, because you need to set up your environment variables. So you need to open Bash profile. So let's see. Let's go to terminals actually, and let's open Bash profile. So I will copy this path here, Bash profile, and let's write here Vim or your coding editor and the name of this file. And you need to set up this Android SDK and this path here, and you can see this path from my Android Studio. So let's see this Android Studio, and this path I copied from here. So like this, let's copy it. Let's go to terminals and let's place it here. So you need to have here this export Android SDK with your path, and then you need to have an export path of your users, and it's your path / platform-tools and this path here, and you can copy all of this from this documentation here. So you can see the steps here and here. So copy it to your file and save it. Then you need to set up virtual device. So let's go back to our Android Studio, and for this we can run just default project. So you can start a new Android Studio project actually. Just click here start new project, and just everything default, that's fine. Let's click just next. Alright, this can be empty activity, next. Just click everywhere next. Finish here. Alright, and let's wait until it's configured. And when your project will be opened, maybe you will be prompted to install some updates, to update SDK versions and so on. So click OK and update everything please. Alright, let's just wait. Okay, it's opening my project. Close this. And you can see here it's updating here, and you can see all the statuses down here. Okay, my project was set up, and when you're running your Android Studio first time, you are probably prompted to install some updates, to update SDKs and so on. So click OK on everything and install everything please. This is very important. Okay, let's continue and let's click here on the tools and then AVD Manager. And now we can create virtual device. So click here, create a virtual device. We can choose some device, so Nexus 5 is fine. Let's click next. And now SDK, so I will choose here these images. API 28 should be fine, or Oreo, up to you. Let's choose this one, click next here. And all of this is fine. So finish here. And that should be it. Now we can click here this arrow on the right side in the actions. Let's click this, and this should open for you your virtual device. So click my device, as you can see here. And I will fast forward this. Okay, my emulator is running. So now we can run Expo. So Expo XD. Let's open this. And let's open our project. Alright, Music React. Let's open this. Alright, project opened, and I would like to note here that you always need to run your emulator before you will run it on device. So let's click here, device, and open on Android, and make sure your emulators are running. Okay, open on Android, installing Expo on device, so let's see it. Let's open emulator, and this can take some time. Alright, it's opening. Okay. Alright, and let's click here. And this should bundle our application now, and this can take some time. So just be patient. Okay, my application is running, and you can see it's running the same as on iOS. Perfect. So I can open tabs here and navigate through my application. Like this. Let's search here. Alright, info here, and everything works amazing. So that's how you can run your applications. You can emulate your applications on Android. On iOS it's much simpler, but you need to have a MacBook. And that should be it from this lecture. I hope you have been successful with your setup, and I hope to see you in the lectures.